I knew that playing Bugs Bunny's Birthday Blowout for 90 minutes wasn't going to be the end of my day. So when I got done playing that game, I get a knock on the door. Sure enough, it's Sylvester Stallone saying, teaser trailer. So we got the trailer for the new Rambo movie. This is the fifth Rambo film, Rambo Last Blood. And maybe I should have played the Rambo NES game earlier, but then again, that would have meant I would have had to have played the Rambo NES game. Now, as you can see, I am going at it alone in this one. What say you? Not Ryan? Where are you? Where is Ryan? Well, congratulations to Ryan and his wife, who just had a new baby today. So, congrats, much love. Bring the newborn baby over because we have a fifth Rambo movie coming out, and the baby has got to get caught up on all of the previous Rambo films before we get to this new one, which I believe is coming out in September. They released a teaser trailer for it today. Sylvester Stallone, of course, back in the title role as John Rambo. Not directing this time. Directing duties go to the director of a movie I really liked a lot called Get the Gringo. Stallone does have a co-writing credit on this, though, so let's go ahead and take a look at a clip right now of the teaser trailer for the upcoming Rambo Last Blood.
I've lived in a world of death, and if it comes looking for me, they will welcome death. They can do to stop it.
Rambo and I very much have something in common. We go at things alone sometimes. In his case, killing killing hundreds of thousands of people, leaving plenty of body bags. Me going at it alone in reviewing the trailer for Rambo Last Blood. It's been quite a ride seeing where it's been going with Rambo over all of these movies. First Blood, 1982's First Blood, still to this day for me, one of my favorite Sylvester Stallone movies. One of his best performances too. One of his most underrated performances. It's a haunting movie about PTSD, about how he as a vet is treated by this community that he's in, and how it all leads to this character snapping, and it ends with this powerful monologue that he gives, which is still among my favorite pieces of acting that he's done. I'm a diehard Sylvester Stallone fan, so right away this movie is speaking to me in that, like, it's a new movie with Sylvester Stallone in it. Purchase. But then even seeing where the series has gone, even tonally after that, from two, which, touches on a few things from the first one, in that, like, he's in jail from the events of the first one, but he gets out to, in missing in action style, get POWs from Vietnam, and he fights the Vietnamese and the Russians too, because 1985. And then that even leads to fighting the Russians again in Afghanistan in Rambo 3. Then we had Rambo 4, or just called Rambo, because really the titling of these movies are kind of all over the place. So when we had Rambo 4 11 years ago, I can't believe it's been 11 years ago, where he's saving these missionaries, and who cares really who he was fighting in Rambo 4, because it was just all about the massacre in that film, from like ripping people's nuts off to just sawing people in half, from pigs eating organs and legs off and things like that. Here's what you really got with that last Rambo movie, which I did think was a very fun movie. Here's what you got with that last Rambo movie. You got a Rambo film crossed with just a little bit of Cannibal Holocaust. Now, the way that the last Rambo movie ended, I actually thought it was a good ending for the series. Now, if you hadn't seen the fourth Rambo film, it ends with him finally coming back to the United States after a ton of years being away. He's back in Arizona, and in a shot reminiscent of him walking along the side of the street in the first one with the jacket and everything, he's walking back to make amends with his dad and meet up with his dad again after a lot of years. It was a good. Had it been the final shot for it of this character in the series, it really would have worked. But I know they've been trying to get a fifth Rambo movie off the ground for quite a while, and that's what we have here. I mean, we need to thank right away that apparently Rocky Balboa himself is a producer of this film. So there's been enough Rocky movies at this point. Rocky as a movie producer, let's go ahead and give Rambo something else too. But still, we got to get the Balboa name on there. I like that this is going in a direction here of like an Eastwood movie, like something like Gran Torino or The Mule last year, where it's like he's just an old man who wants to live out his days sitting on a porch and getting grumpy at things. There's really two kinds of movies like this. Either you're going to get a Pixar movie where he meets up with a kid, balloons come out of Rambo's house, and he's up in the sky, or a gang is going to show up and do terrible things, and Rambo's going to have to get on the porch, kill a bunch of people because he's very mad about getting off of his rocking chair, which does indeed look very, very comfortable. That looks like what we're getting here. Now, what I would have enjoyed something more tonally like the first one, even though I know that's something we're, given how the sequels have gone, given the tone of the sequels as they go along. I mean, granted, the fourth one got a little darker with Rambo's character than maybe the second one and the third one did, but still, it's not like you're gonna get a very psychological film like the first one was. When I knew that this was going to be a movie about an older Rambo, him living on this ranch, hanging out in this chair on this porch, I was crossing my fingers we'd get something akin to like a Peck and Paw movie, like Straw Dogs or a movie like that. This looks like, it's a Rambo movie you could cross with your Gran Torinos or your The Mules. So, he's fighting the cartels. All the cartels have shown up on Rambo's ranch, and, he's got ranching to do. Don't really want to deal with the cartels, so, I don't know. Let's just kill about 200 people. Sure, why not? Now, we are going to get certainly a very, very gory film out of this. I mean, even just from the trailer alone, you're going to see limbs get severed. You're going to see throats cut. Some stuff might happen to eyeballs. Definitely going to be some gouging. Whether nuts get ripped off, I'm not sure. People might get cut in half. They might scream choke on them. I know this is a wild prediction. People might not agree with me here, but this movie, it might be a little gory. But you know what is throwing me off about the trailer? I don't know how anyone else feels necessarily, but one thing that is throwing me off here with the trailer for this movie is the hair. I am used to a certain look of John Rambo. I'm used to him and his, wartime locks, the long hair. I guess it reached some point in John Rambo's life where after decades, eventually he's like, you know what? Maybe it's time to cut the hair. It took him much longer than when Martin Riggs cut his hair for Lethal Weapon 4. Took him about 20 or 30 years longer, but eventually Rambo decided, you know what, maybe I don't want to wear a wig for this movie. Maybe I don't want to grow out my hair for this movie. I'll just look like Sylvester Stallone here. Now, because of that, because I and, everyone else are used to a certain look from Rambo with long hair, the bandana, everything. I mean, in the trailer, the bow and arrow's in there, so there is that. Lots of guns, there is that too. But when he has a unique look in compared to other Sylvester Stallone characters. And in this trailer, where, I know he's Rambo because he's called John Rambo in it, but it does look like, you could probably call him about any Sylvester Stallone character. I mean, he could be Raymond Tango in this movie. The further adventures of Tango out on his own with Cash doing his own thing in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It could be Hawk has retired from trucking and and people want him to a modern day Hawk movie from Over the Top would probably just be a shot for shot remake of Black Dog with Patrick Swayze. So it could be Hawk in this movie. It could be his bullet to the head character. I mean, heck, when it shows that there's a part where he's standing over a grave, in which I'm assuming this is probably his dad, like Rambo's dad is probably dead. He's standing over this grave here, which is we've seen this in more modern Stallone movies. A lot of the modern Rocky movies do that with him over Adrian's grave or Paulie in the last couple. We've seen that. So really, it could be that Rocky Balboa. I mean, this could mean this is just secretly Rocky Balboa in this film. This could mean that Rocky Balboa has finally snapped. The cartels got together. They were tired of they wanted him to come out of retirement and fight their guy. He decides not to, so now they're gonna go all assault on Precinct 13 on John Rambo. You know, that would be cool. If not something like Straw Dogs, then something like Assault on Precinct 13, where they broke it. Just because there's an old man sitting in a rocking chair on a porch does not mean you want to break into his house. It doesn't mean that at all. You should learn this by now between the Clint Eastwood movies, between also even horror films. Like Stephen Lang proved that not only do you not want to break into an old man's house, you also don't want to do it when they're blind. That can make things totally worse. So as a Stallone junkie, as a fan of the series, and given this is supposed to be the last one of these films, I am sorry, I'm getting a little old in my ears too. I'm so much looking forward to being much older and sitting on a rocking chair. I just instantly went over to that picture. I am looking forward to this film as a Stallone guy, as a Rocky, and as a Rocky guy, as a Rambo guy. Given this is supposed to be the last one, I'm curious what they'll do to end it. Even though if I were a betting person, I would say Rambo is probably going to die at the end of this film. He's survived the Russians. He's survived in Afghanistan. He's survived Sheriff Brian Dennehy. Something in the fifth one will probably get him. That's kind of my prediction. So anyway, go ahead, and we've got a couple different things going on right now. We are in the last stages of finishing up production on our movie, post-production. We've been asking for a little bit of help with that, with a lot of perks in return. So when you're purchasing like digital downloads and things like that off of our GoFundMe, it's all going towards finishing up post-production and everything for our movie so we can have a summertime release on it. So please click on the GoFundMe link, pass it around, contribute, and you'll get a lot of cool perks in return. Also, subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/Stone Gremlin Productions and follow us on Twitter as well, and I'll be seeing you guys soon.